All right, welcome back to the J-3P project. It's been a fun time in the shop, and I'm glad to give you an update. I have quite a bit to update actually, so let's just dive right in. The bench has the fuselage, and the wings are very much where they were before. However, we have a number of things to update on. Specifically, we have the windows installed, and I've taped them over with a masking tape because I have custom paint. Now, if you have not watched the previous episode, I encourage you to do so. After watching that, it will be very apparent why I have yellow paint on a yellow covered airplane. Yeah, so I am going to paint the light color yellow to the dark color. So I had custom paint made. I have a receipt right here. $50. $50 for this can of custom paint, but it's automotive paint and it will be fuel proof once finished, and I get a nice satin 2K clear coat on this. So I have work to do in the paint department, but I also have not been sitting on my hands getting a whole bunch of other things done too. But let me show you a little bit about this paint before I move on. So as you can see, this is a custom fill, and I did get a sample of the covering from the wings. I got that scanned specifically, and the paint mixed up. So here is, it's kind of hard to tell on camera and in real life too, but this is one light coat of paint on the aileron that was light, comparing that to the fuselage. Now coming over here into this light becomes a little bit more apparent. It is darker, but it's still not quite right. And if you look at the end caps, those are the proper yellow. That's what we're going for. So it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there. But the reason I chose to go to the darker color is because it's easier to go from light to dark. I'm going to start this section by just opening up the cockpit so that you can see what's going on. And starting right away, you can see that I started painting the cockpit, and I did a nice weathered brown look, and that is actually incorrect. This was done just sort of preemptively before I actually saw the full-scale airplane, which I saw just this week. So the floor is black, so I will need to go back and add a little bit more weight to the model. Minimal weight for just paint, but oddly enough, the paint does come up the side of the interior as well. There's a little swooping curve into it. Try to include a couple of pictures here that I snapped. But yeah, it's a minor thing, but it is a detail nevertheless that I need to address. Still going on the cockpit. Now, as we move into the cockpit, we can see, yes, I have installed servos. We have servos installed. And in addition to that, I went ahead and started outfitting my battery tray and installed a receiver as well as my voltage sensor. I picked up a voltage sensor for my second battery. I'll be using 2-cell lithium batteries, directly plug into the receiver with a switch. So that covers monitoring that battery's voltage, but since I'm using a separate battery for the glow driver system alone, I wanted to monitor that voltage as well. So that's what this is for. All right, so yeah, just getting everything screwed in, etc., making sure things fit. I did have to trim those holes for those servos, and so that took a lot of time, and had to vacuum everything out. And then I realized I'm going to spray paint all of this, and so that's when I picked up some fresh masking tape in order to accomplish that. I have had experiences in the past where old masking tape doesn't do quite as well. I mean, I have this and I have another roll like this, but those were purchased about 6 months ago. Figured I may as well just go get a fresh roll and be done with it and have no questions. No questions. Now, why is there a hole up here? Well, let me tell you. So I've been playing with this idea for quite some time now. I'll put in a little picture here that there is a fuel filler on the nose of the Piper J3. That's where the fuel tank is. Sits right in front of the front seat. And so since the fuel tank is going up there anyway, I figured I may as well go ahead and do a scale detail that is purposeful. So I am leveraging the Dubro fillet fueling system, and it comes with a number of different plugs. These are, you can see, different sized barbs. So this is small, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. Come on, focus. There you go. And what's nice about these is that they are for glow fuel or gasoline. Don't have to worry about the plastic. Plastic ever so slightly lighter than metal, but we are able to do some detailing here. So you can see I've got some canopy glue, and that will make nice little pop rivets. And this ring goes into this hole. I don't want to put it all the way in yet because I want to paint, right? And then this serves as our fuel line plug, right? So this I have created from one of these, right? I cut the little dome part off right here, and I 3D printed this shape on top, glued it onto the top, and then did a little bit of a glue fillet around the bottom, drilled a hole, and put this piece of aluminum tubing that I had in my drawer. This plunger at the top, this goes up and down with fuel level on the full scale, and that was just a simple piece of push rod, and I glued it in. It's really quite simple, but you know, it's layer upon layer upon layer, and that should sit and fit right in there like that. And so I can pull that out, fill up the airplane, put it back in, and have a nice scale detail as well. I did leverage the canopy here, installed the canopy or the windscreen, I'm sorry, the windscreen temporarily to get my position correct. I didn't want it to interfere with any of the engine cowl, so I put it roughly halfway in between, which is honestly about right for the full scale. Speaking of cowl and other windscreen accessories and stuff, I have other things that I've assembled. All right, so I did manage to get the landing gear recovered with Oratex. I was able to find some of the darker material. You can sort of see that in a comparison there. Not sure if I'm going to try to blend paint with the hardware. The hardware is a little bit bright from the original color. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, what's also notable is I got the seat put together, and I did some 3D prints. I do want to paint this a little bit better, this buckle here, but I'm just using elastic cord, and there's a little bit of CA down into there, and I can cinch it tight, but I used these little buttons, just some thick CA and these little buttons. You can get them at a fabric store. I've had these for years now. They're just sew-on snap buttons. So this actually has the front and the back all in one thing, and you just separate them from the card. So if you show up with this and you don't know what's going on, yeah, that's what's going on. So you've got this thin back piece, and then inside I made a little hollow for that bubbly piece, okay? And so when it snaps together, it looks like a seat belt. And the reason for that is I wanted a way to retain the pilot without him moving around too much, and a way to cinch him down, etc. So that is a fun detail that I was able to put together. Like I said, still need to do some finishing on this and smoothing it out, and then some final paint. Up here we have a fuel tank. I mean, fuel tanks are pretty straightforward. If you want to see how a fuel tank is assembled, I highly recommend the Dubro 101 video. This is a scrap tank that I had in my stash from some model. I don't even know which. It's the only tank that I had when I got the model from my friend. It did not have a tank in the box. So I've been looking for a tank. It's a very specific size and it's ovular and it fits vertical. I just can't find one, and that's okay. I've done a number of calculations. The manual that comes with the Sato FA200R3 has like 46 or 40 something cc per minute at wide open throttle. This airplane will almost never be flown at wide open throttle. Okay, maybe half throttle, that's my guess. It's a lot of engine for an airplane of this size, but that's fine. Nevertheless, this fuel tank at wide open throttle should give me 5-6 minutes based off of that calculation. Let's see, it's 320 cc. So you guys figure out how I did that math. It's pretty easy. 320 divided by whatever the fuel consumption rate was, 40 something, okay? Gives you minutes. All right, so with that, you know, just simple brass tubes, bent just like Terry demonstrated in the Dubro 101 video, and I have a dedicated fill line as I showed you. One line will go to the carb. That's the other one that has, those two both have clunks, and the one that goes to the carb will also have a filter. I've got a Dubro filter for that. And then there's the vent line, which will come from one of the muffler pipes. All right, so very straightforward stuff. Last thing we have to talk about is more covering. And what I mean by covering is more covering issues. So I'm going to insert a quick picture here. It's kind of difficult to see, but I will say that I want to do rib stitching and rib tapes on this model. So cutting back here, of course, in the past, I have shown you how I've done pinking shears on this stuff, and it works quite well. On this particular model, it will look way too big. Way too big. Because, in fact, these pinking shears, each one of these zigzags on the shears, that's 1/8 of an inch, okay? That's full scale. So if I wanted to cut this for a full scale airplane, that's what I could use. But when you look at your measuring, so here's 1/8 of an inch. So I need not 1/16, but 1/32 of an inch. That's like less than a millimeter or around a millimeter. It's really, really tiny. I've asked around to a couple of friends and I got some suggestions, and ultimately what I'm going to settle on is ripping. Okay, so what I mean by ripping, so just for comparison, I took my wax paper box down here and it's got the serrated edge, and that's about 1/32 of an inch. This is the edge, okay? This is the edge that I got. It would look quite nice, but the issue is that I can't keep it straight without a whole lot of fixturing of that cutting edge. So here is a direct comparison between, so this is what I cut off, all right? And then this is ripped. So if I simply make a small cut at one end and rip this fabric material, I get something that looks almost exactly the same. And that's way easier. So the rib tapes on the full scale are 2 inches wide. And so all I have to do is make little cuts every 1/2 inch on this and just rip, rip, rip. And then I'll have rib tapes. Be easy to cover over. Now on top of that, it looks like there's a cap tape as well, or at least very prominent cap strips So I will lay down a layer of the covering as that cap strip, and then I will apply thread with glue in order to get a more prominent stitch. I could use just glue, but I think that that will not be sufficient, given that on the full scale, the stitches are only 1/2 inch wide. So I have to go 1/8 of an inch for quarter scale. Okay, so 1/8 of an inch wide, that's tiny. Okay, we were just talking about 1/8 of an inch with the pinking shears. So to get that prominent a little bit more and a little bit more texture over top of, you know, the pinking tape that I will apply after that, I want to give a little more substance to it. Okay, so I'll be using thread and glue, and I'm just going to use Tight Bond too. It works. So yeah, that's the approach on the rib tapes. Lots of stuff to do on the ribs, and the rib stitching, that's going to be phenomenal. And then of course, since I don't have the same color, then I got to paint the whole wings. Even though the wings are the right color, rib tapes will not. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right. At least it'll be blended at the very least. All right. Additionally, we have a black stripe that goes down the side of the fuselage. The stripe for the J-3P is not the typical lightning bolt. It's here at the front. It's got a like Nike swoosh. So I'm going to reach out to Callie and see what I can do in terms of getting a paint mask rather than get the vinyl to stick on. I'll probably get her printed Cub Bear to put on the back. But everything else will be painted, including numbers. I will be doing the NX20280 end number on this airplane because that is scale accurate. And otherwise, yeah, plenty of things yet to do. So I hope you can appreciate that update and appreciate the problem solving that is going into some of this stuff. The little bitty things that I have to work out, like the seat belts and the fuel filler, and working out my technique for the pinking, the pink strips. So all of that stuff, it all comes down to just time and asking around and trying new things and trying to figure things out. It's not just about putting pieces together or dotting glue or what. Like, some of this is just thinking through a problem, trying a solution, see what works, see what's worth it. The structure on this model is never going to be like competition level. Okay, it's just not. The cap strips on it are way too wide. The framing is just not scale. Okay, the internal guts anyway. And because this is a fabric covered airplane in full scale, it exposes a lot of that scale inaccuracy to some level, but it is still lending itself to a very scale profile and a model that I will be very happy with putting in a bunch of other fun scale details. So my rationale and justification. You know, I'm gonna leave it here. You guys got to go over to dubro.com. We're about a week away from starting up the master class again. Got a really great historical subject I'm building on the master class this year. I really hope you guys go over there, check it out, and see what you have to contribute to the community as well in that live stream video content. It's a lot of fun. Brian and I have a lot of fun with the banter. He's already putting out Mr. Clean ads and stuff. I mean, just inside joke if you haven't been watching. It's a good time. But yeah, use code Josh10 at checkout and save yourself 10%. Again, I get no financial benefit from that. It's purely for you guys. That's it. In the meantime, I have had an airplane return to the hangar. Maybe I'll shoot a video on that. Maybe I won't. Maybe when I start doing modifications on it. But I'm still trying to push models out. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, keep working on your flying works of art.